Hi guys, Wendy Day here. I'm down here in my dining room doing videos because there's something wrong with my desk upstairs. I have a standing desk that raises and lowers, and for some reason only one side is raising. So I'm waiting for Mr. Fix-It to come and fix it. So good thing I wore a red shirt today since I'm doing this in a room that's red. If you are not a blood, you're probably looking at this video like, what the fuck? Why is there so much red? I am not a blood, but in fact, my hair is blue. I'm not attached to any gang or family, but I do realize this is a lot of red, and I'm sorry about that. But today I'm going to talk about influencers. I've been looking for a good influencer company to help one of my clients post because they want to use influencers to market their relatively new artist. And here's what I've learned from the influencer world. And I kind of have the same point of view that you guys have. Like, I watched Lights Global help Lil Pump get to the next level and help with Juju on the Beat. I've seen influencers work for my clients when they've had a little bit of movement. But I learned something really valuable over the past couple of weeks that I want to share with you guys about influencers. And as I've met with these companies, I've learned that, first of all, influencers are taking over the world, and they're a really great way to market and promote and get your music out there or any product that you have out there. But I've learned that for a brand new artist that doesn't really have a following yet, influencers may not be the best way to start out with marketing and promotion. And that I didn't know. I'm working with a brand new artist, and I thought that influencers were a great way to sort of catapult him up to the next level, just because there's so much oversaturation out here on social media that I felt like if somebody famous was talking about this artist, that it would just bring more eyeballs to this artist. And while that is somewhat the case, I've learned that until the artist has a little bit of a movement and a little bit of a buzz, that influencers aren't a great way to build that artist. You only get one chance at a first impression. And if somebody does see that artist and they're brand new and they don't recognize the name, they may not click on what you want them to click on, which means that impression was just wasted. And that seems to happen a lot. And I've also learned that if they do click on that and that artist doesn't have a lot going on, that click was now just wasted, because the fan or the potential fan isn't going to go through and look at everything they need to look at that you're trying to offer to really become a fan of that new artist. So this was very educational for me. Also, there was an event lately called VidCon, which was out in Southern California. I want to say San Diego, but I can't remember. It may have been Orange County, but somewhere in Southern California. And it's a meetup for like all of the influencers, like on YouTube and etc. And they were kind of a lot of the discussions that were going on in the forums for the influencers were how to really maximize their business as influencers. So it's really become big business. These guys are getting paid a lot of money when they've got Instagram accounts that are popping and YouTube channels that are popping. So their goal is to make money, not necessarily help you get your product to the next level. And they're being approached by brands as well as up-and-coming artists in order to spread the message. So you need to figure out which of these influencers are going to be really helpful for your career as an artist, right? Just like the brands are looking at them to try to decide which influencers are helpful to propel their brands forward. Like, is it a comedian? Is it a model chick, with a fat ass? Is it one of the workout people? Is it a comedian? Like, is it a makeup chick? Like, what level of influencer is really most helpful? And then the next thing that you have to look at once you narrow it down to which type of influencers you want to help propel your career forward, you have to look at the financials, because these folks know their value in the marketplace. So they're going to charge you a fee to post your video or your music, or, you know, in the case of a workout person, are they working out to your song, or is it somebody that just has a lot of followers that's sitting in their car listening to the music? Like, whatever you're bringing that influencer on board to do, you may want to look at somebody that doesn't necessarily have millions and millions of followers, because that's going to be really expensive for you to be on their feed, right? It may make more sense to find a bunch of people that just have 10,000 followers or 30,000 followers or 50,000 followers, and have a bunch of those posting your message or whatever you're trying to get out there, whatever you're using that influencer for. It may make more sense to have a bunch of those. It reduces the risk of you going to like a Kim Kardashian and paying her hundreds of thousands of dollars to post your message on her feed. Yes, she's reaching a lot of people, but what are the chances of her followers seeing your one-time post, or even clicking on it, or more importantly, if they do click on it, going down that rabbit hole a little bit deeper to find out, you know, what do your other songs sound like? Are you an artist whose music they may become a fan of? You know, you may want to find smaller influencers and then test your message. See, what are people responding to? Are they responding to a video clip? Are they responding better to that person working out to your music? Are they responding to a comedian who's posted a meme and made a little bit of fun of you and your song? Like, what is the best message that you can pay for to get out there? And then figure from there which of the people in that lane are then the best people for you to spend more money with. So you're going to want to do a little bit of A/B testing. You're going to want to do a whole lot of research to figure out, you know, what works best for your type of music and what lane of influencer works best for your music. And then keep up that. Once you find out what works, then start putting a budget behind it. Start spending money as going down that lane, and then again do A/B testing to keep tweaking it to find out what message is working best. You know, and is it YouTube? Is it Instagram? You know, is it Facebook? Like, figure out where your potential market is hanging out, and then once you've figured it out, then go balls to the wall with your budget. Don't just spend all of your budget in one place getting one or two influencers to post your song, no matter how great you think that song is. Your followers may not be their followers, and you need to find that out before you really spend a lot of money. So do the research. Thanks for tuning in. This is Wendy Day. Definitely subscribe. Hit the little bell so that when I post stuff, you know it's coming. And thanks for tuning in. Again, my apologies for all this red.